This is the Ottawa Senators Outlook. Here is your host, Jack Henry.
Hello everybody, this is Jack the Ottawa Senators Outlook. This is my reaction to the Staios ability that was a little over a week ago, and DJ Smith's interview on TSN 1200, which was a little bit over a week ago as well. So I am a little late with this video, but as they always say, better late than never. So I'm just going to go over a few quotes that Steve Staios and DJ Smith said over the last week. I'm going to break down what they said and my reaction to what they said. So we're going to start with Steve Staios, obviously. This was his availability on Monday, December 18th. Today, DJ Smith got fired. And he said in his first quote that I have here, "There isn't a year I don't think there are as many changes as we've had to deal with, and certainly lots of adversity as well." And he's basically talking about what the Senators had to go through, especially him and Andlauer buying the team at the time. Well, Andlauer bought the team. At the time he did, they weren't able to make any changes because training camp was just not right there knocking on the door. So they just had to roll with it. He also says we want to look at the short-term solution to make sure we give our players the best chance to compete on a given night, and also make sure we're taking a long-term look at this to make sure we have the right decisions there. After the Florida game, that was November 27th, where we lost 5-0 in our own barn. That was a crazy game with all the ejections. There were some changes to the game plan and some of the structure and things within our game, and I was encouraged for 5 games. That was when we started winning some games. Even though we only won 3 of the 5 games, there were certainly great signs of improvement. When I saw our game start to revert back to where it was before, that's when I felt like it was time. So after the Detroit game, that's when we started losing the games with Carolina, St. Louis, Dallas, and Vegas, because DJ Smith was fired after the Vegas game. After that game, that's when Steve Staios said that this is what we need to make these changes, because we lost to the Blue Jackets after we beat the Kraken, then the Rangers, and then I believe we lose to the Leafs, and that was a pretty good game as well from the Senators. And then we beat the Red Wings, and then that's when we go on their 6-game losing streak. He also says, "I do have faith in this group. I have faith in the leadership of this group and the character of this group. I think with the right guidance and environment that they can get to the next level. There's plenty of room for optimism within our group and the individuals that we have. I think it's our job now to make sure we steady these things." And he also goes on to say, at the time, the weaknesses of this team are the strengths of Jacques Martin. And Jacques Martin, as you know, is a very disciplinary, structured guy, attention to detail. And to be quite honest, you've seen it in the last couple of games for the Ottawa Senators. So, again, he also said in an interview before the Pittsburgh game, I believe, he said this team has a ton of talent. It needs a little bit more structure, more direction, and the results will speak for itself. So you love to hear the professionalism from both Jacques Martin and Steve Staios. But let's go to DJ Smith here, because I do have some thoughts about it, but I will say a few things afterwards. He said, I believe I made the kids better players and people. I'm disappointed we couldn't turn the corner with this group for whatever reason. We would have made the playoffs if we were fully healthy, and I'm disappointed I couldn't take this team to the next step, but I'm proud of the whole body of work. I did my job developing these guys and turning them into NHL players by giving them confidence every day. So first off, overall, that was a very classy interview from DJ Smith. I thought what he had to say was absolutely classy, and he didn't take it personally. He said it was a business. He also mentioned this. He also brought up saying like he was surprised it didn't happen earlier. So basically, DJ Smith himself, and we all speculated this, he knew the writing was on the wall. He said his family and everything about the fire DJ Chanson. There were some reports about it saying like his family didn't like it, but DJ Smith understood like the passionate aspect of the fan base and how they want results, and he basically admitted to that. I do believe he did his job in developing these players, but obviously, like he said, he couldn't get to the next step. I do want to cover this quote really quickly. He said we would have made the playoffs if we were fully healthy. You see, this is why we get on DJ Smith all the time. He makes excuses for anything when things don't work out. Obviously, the big injury last year was Josh Norris. He only played 8 games last year. He missed 74 of those games with his shoulder injury. So unfortunately, that was a big loss for the Senators. But here's what I want to go over. Do I think we would have made the playoffs if Josh Norris was in the lineup? I honestly do. But I also believe we could have made the playoffs without him as well. I do think this team had enough to make the playoffs. Obviously, we had another slow start last year in November, and we lost a few games throughout the year that I don't think we should have lost. So, overall, I do think, and we missed the playoffs by 6 points last year, I definitely believe we could have been able to get to the playoffs last year if it weren't for costly games, especially in the earlier months, and especially the bottom feeders. So, again, I don't think injuries are a big matter to this because like I said, I believe we would have made the playoffs with the injuries as well. But again, the coaching and the structure, it just wasn't there. So that's the only thing I gotta say towards CJ Smith as to his interview on TSN 1200 and Steve Staios' availability Monday, December 18th. Comment down below what you think. Like I said, I like the professionalism from Steve Staios. I like the level of class from DJ Smith. A couple quotes that need to be a little bit more understood, but again, that was my reaction to what both men had to say. And also, just good luck to DJ Smith in the future. I do think he'll get a job somewhere else. I don't know if it'll be sooner rather than later, but I think down the line he should get a job, whether it may be an AHL head coaching position job, because I do believe he can do something good enough for that, or maybe he can be an assistant coach behind an NHL bench, because he is a quote-unquote respected coach around the league, so you never know. Again, comment down below what you think. My preview prediction video for the New Jersey Devils game will be coming out later, but for now, this is Jack the Ottawa Senators. All can go Sens go.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Ottawa Senators Outlook. For more of this podcast, click on the videos on the left, and subscribe by clicking on the icon on the right. Thank you.